How often does a married man think about his mistress? Please first go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click on the notification bell too. Follow my channel and pages too. How often does a married man think about his mistress? Research has shown that men tend to think about their mistresses more often than they admit. Generally speaking, a man who is having an affair will think about his mistress anywhere from 10 to 60 times per day. It's safe to say that most married men think about their mistresses regularly, particularly when they're not getting the attention they need from their wives. Many married men find themselves feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled in their marriages, which can lead them to seek out affairs with other women. Affairs can be risky and damaging, but sometimes they may seem like the only way for a man to get the emotional connection and attention he needs. Before we continue, how often he thinks of you as his girlfriend does not guarantee how quick he will leave his wife for you. If you are tired of waiting and you want to make him leave his wife for you as soon as yesterday, what you need is a spell to make him leave his wife from Mom and Kama. No wasting time. The link is https://leavehiswife.com. The link is also in the description below. You can also check out my video about the same spell from the link above. Click the link above. But if all you just want to know is how often he thinks of you, continue watching. So how often does a married man think about his mistress? It depends on how far a man is caught up in the relationship. A married man who is having an affair will typically think about his mistress quite often, especially if he's been caught up in the excitement of the relationship. On the other hand, a married man who is content with his wife and not actively seeking out affairs is likely to think about her far less often. For a married man who is deep in the throes of an affair, his mistress is often the center of his thoughts. He may think about her when he's at work, when he's at home with his wife, or even when he's in bed with her. She may occupy his thoughts to the point where it's difficult for him to focus on anything else. Of course, there are also married men who think about their mistresses only occasionally. These men are usually content with their marriages and only think about their mistresses when they're feeling particularly lonely or horny. They may think about their mistresses when they see an attractive woman, or when they're feeling especially neglected by their wives. However, these thoughts are usually fleeting and don't consume their every waking moment. To understand how often a married man thinks about his mistress, it's important to consider reasons why he cheated on his wife in the first place. Reason why a man cheats can help to explain the intensity of his thoughts about his mistress. The Institute for Family Studies cites that 20% of men and 13% of women report having sex outside of their marriage. There are many reasons why married men may seek out affairs, but some of the most common include: 1. Unhappiness in their marriage. If a man is unhappy in his marriage, he will be more likely to cheat. This is because he's not getting what he needs from his wife, which leads him to seek out emotional and physical intimacy elsewhere. So how often does unhappy married man think about his mistress? Unhappy married men think about their mistresses quite often, particularly if they're not getting the attention they need at home. They think about their mistresses when they're at work, when they're with their families, or even when they're in bed with their wives. 2. Lack of communication. If a man feels like he can't communicate with his wife, he will be more likely to cheat. This is because he feels like he has no outlet to express his needs and desires, which leads him to seek out someone else who will listen. In this Oprah Winfrey's Oprah and 7 Cheating Husbands, this cheating husband admits to cheating on his wife because he felt she was unavailable. 3. Boredom. If a man is bored in his marriage, he will be more likely to cheat. This is because he will feel like there's nothing exciting happening in his relationship, which leads him to seek out excitement elsewhere. So how often does bored married man think about his mistress? Bored married men think about their mistresses often. To him she provides a source of excitement and intrigue. Every time the man feels like his life is monotonous, he think about his mistress and the exciting things they've done together. 4. Physical attraction. If a man is physically attracted to his mistress, he will be more likely to cheat. This is because he will be drawn to her physical appearance and the sexual thrill of the affair. For a man who is attracted to just physical appearance of his mistresses, he thinks of her only when he misses her. Thinking about someone is more connected to emotional feelings than just physical appearance. If he is thinking about her constantly, it might indicate that he has developed feelings for her beyond just physical attraction. 5. Lack of physical intimacy. If a man isn't getting physical intimacy from his wife, he will be more likely to cheat. This is because he may feel like he's not being satisfied sexually, which leads him to seek out sexual satisfaction elsewhere. So how often does married man in a sexless marriage think about his mistress? A married man in a sexless marriage thinks of his mistress every time his wife denies him sex. 6. Lack of emotional intimacy. If a man feels like he's not connected to his wife emotionally, he will be more likely to cheat. This is called emotional infidelity, and it can be just as damaging to a relationship as physical infidelity. So how often does emotionally distant married man think about his mistress? An emotionally distant married man thinks of his mistress often, as she provides the emotional intimacy he's lacking in his marriage. Every time he feels like his wife is unavailable, he thinks about how his mistress gives him all the attentions and emotional connection, hence exponentially growing the number of times he finds himself thinking about her. These are some of the most common reasons why married men cheat on their wives. What do married men think of their mistresses? More and more often married men think of their mistresses as 1. A source of emotional and physical intimacy. 2. A friendly outlet to express his needs and desires. 3. A source of excitement and intrigue. 4. A protector of all sexual thrills. 5. A friend from whom he feels desired and wanted. 6. A source of sexual satisfaction. What a married man wants from his mistress is someone who is fun and exciting, a source of excitement and intrigue who can make him forget about his tedious day-to-day life. He wants someone who will make him feel desired and wanted, an outlet to express his needs and desires, who will make him feel like a powerful, desirable man. How often do you see your mistress? In my consultation with clients, I once asked a cheating husband how often he sees his mistress. He told me, "I see my mistress often, as she provides the excitement and adventure that's lacking in my marriage. Every time I feel bored or disconnected from my wife, I think about my mistress and the fun we have together." I asked him, "What drives you to want to see her so often?" He told me, "I'm not getting what I need from my wife. She's always busy with work and our kids. I feel like I'm not important to her anymore. My mistress makes me feel desired and wanted. She gives me the attention I crave. And she's always up for anything." I asked him how often he thinks about her, and he said that he thinks about her all the time. He said that she is always on his mind, and he can't stop thinking about her. So you see how often a married man sees his mistress can lead him to think about her all the time. Do married men miss their mistresses? Find answers and reasons why, pertaining to this question in the video in the link above. Also, I have provided the link in the description below. Conclusion: if a man is generally happy with his marriage but had a one-time fling, he's likely to think about his mistress only occasionally. On the other hand, if a man is deeply unhappy in his marriage and is actively pursuing an affair, he's likely to think about his mistress much more. It all depends on the man's relationship with his wife, his level of satisfaction in the marriage, and his overall level of commitment to the relationship. Visit Mama and Kama. Link in description.